At this moment, I was beside Benjamin and was introduced by Josephine to a group of other noblewomen. I couldn't remember their names, but the names of their husbands shocked me to my core. All the noblewomen were very nice to me, and they praised Benjamin for being blessed with a woman like me. According to them, I looked like I could bring fortune and luck to my husband. They were really good at talking. It looked like they were complimenting me, but in reality, they were just praising the Jarrett family. After all, it would be a blessing for a person like me to be able to stand behind Josephine. Josephine remained calm until Closetta came in with her mother. Closetta greeted Josephine and then smiled at me.
Are you Benjamin's new girlfriend?
Although I had imagined countless times fighting with Closetta, I was still very confused when I really faced her. She was so temperamental and elegant. As I said earlier, she was not beautiful, but she was elegant in her own way. But now I realized that she was not outstanding. She was just next level. She was so different that nobody could ignore her. Closetta could only remind me of these descriptions. On the contrary, even after being given a makeover by a professional styling team, I looked like a supporting character besides her. She was the Snow White and I was the dwarf. At this moment, if I was really like Benjamin's girlfriend, I would feel extremely inferior before Closetta. Fortunately, I was just Benjamin's acting girlfriend, so I didn't feel so inferior at all. At the thought of my duty, which was to make Closetta jealous, I was immediately full of fighting spirit. I looked at Closetta generously. I'm not his new girlfriend. I'm his current girlfriend. Then I turned to Benjamin and blinked at him playfully, and his only girlfriend from now on. Closetta was stunned. She didn't expect that I would publicly display my affections in front of her. When she said I was Benjamin's new girlfriend, I knew she still cared for him. Of course, I should make her even more jealous. She must feel very bad to see a simp now turned into her ex-boyfriend's only love. Alas, I was really sad for her, sad that she had such a competitive mentality. She had a fiancé, so she had nothing to do with her ex-boyfriend or any of his girlfriends. But she was biased against other women becoming her ex-boyfriend's happiness. There were women like Closetta who couldn't accept not being the center of attention. Their main goal was to be the first and forever crush of every man they dated or flirted with. For this reason, this might compromise the happiness of the girls who were not the first crushes of their men. But women like Closetta didn't care because in their eyes, those boring girls who were destined not to be the main characters should be the companions of those people who were born to be the main character. The truth was so cruel and just really annoying. As a member of the boring girls, I couldn't help but wanted to trigger her just to see how she would react. And I was obviously not the only one who wanted to see her be deflated. After I said that, Josephine suddenly grabbed my hand kindly. She looked at me with a really loving look and said,
"Dear, Benjamin used to be a playboy, so I think you must have suffered a lot. Don't worry, I will do everything to make sure you are loved. If he ever hurts you, let me know, and I'll punish him."
What then? She turned to Closetta and Closetta's mother, Kelly.
Alas, you don't know when Juliette first became Benjamin's secretary. I have already fallen in love with her. I wish she could become my daughter-in-law. I didn't expect Benjamin to really date her now and even brought her home. Of course, I have to make sure she stays.
Closetta's face darkened. Suddenly, I understood why Josephine was so warm and nice to me. It turned out that she was venting her anger for her son, who used to be a simp, With her support, I no longer had any scruples. I showed my arrogance born from being favored completely in the next few banquets. For example, when I wanted to have a seat, Benjamin pulled the chair for me when I faked a cough. He couldn't even sit before I sat. Also, when we were eating, seeing that he had eaten only a small mouthful of his caviar, so I just finished it up. It was premium caviar transported by air from Japan's Kauai, worth nearly $3,000 and tasted delicious. So it was a waste to not finish it. My hardworking performance might cause Closetta to feel upset or uncomfortable, but I received approval from Josephine. The next day, she called me to the Jarrett's residence and gave me a string of pearl necklaces. Although it was not a precious one, I still showed it to Benjamin happily. Mrs. Jarrett is so kind. I just did her a little favor, and so she gave me this. Benjamin looked at me strangely.
Do you think this is the reward she gave you?
I asked, "Isn't that so?" Benjamin's face darkened all of a sudden.
Suit yourself.
He walked away as if he was angry, leaving me alone in his big living room. He then slammed the door shut. Why did he suddenly get angry? Crazy. I ignored him and continued to appreciate my low profile, yet luxurious and elegant pearl necklace under the lamp. I wondered how I could take the next step to get another reward from Josephine. I received 2 rewards, just for one job. How amazing was that? Being invited to accompany Josephine to her girlfriend's get-together had become an enthusiastic show of approval of my existence in the Jarrett family. Not only had I grown in popularity among them, but I had also established myself as a successful example of seductress and eager for marriage material. There were even blog posts and articles all over the internet, all attempting to decipher the keys to attracting a wealthy and powerful man like me. Then Benjamin received a call from Closetta to invite him to the opening ceremony of the art gallery. In the past, Closetta would only send invitations to Benjamin. From then, I knew Closetta was hooked. I needed to get ready better. When I accompanied Josephine, I would usually doll up most lavishly. But this time I dressed in simple clothes and only put on light makeup. When Benjamin arrived to pick me up, he was taken aback by how I was dressed.
Are you really going to meet Closey like that?
I responded confidently, so I've thought it through. I know I'm no match for Miss Claus's unparalleled beauty and elegance. Instead, I want to show her that I'm living my best life even without the prettiest looks like her. Don't you think it's rather refreshing this way? I want to prove to her that your love for me is real and unwavering. While others may find their true love through beauty, you chose me because I'm more than just looks. It is my soul that attracts you. Benjamin smiled. He had always been serious and just kept a straight face, but his smiling was like a shower of spring rain, just making my heart flutter. However, I quickly came to my senses and reminded myself that he was my boss. As a corporate slave, I knew the first rule was to avoid becoming romantically involved with an employer. Otherwise, my efforts in the company would go unremunerated. With that reminder in mind, I quickly froze my budding feelings for Benjamin, and in a business-like manner, I reminded him to be attentive and take care of me in front of Closetta. As long as we could get Miss Claus, again, we can close the deal. Our success depends on this very task of you showing your love toward me. So let's just give it our all. Annoyed by my enthusiasm, Benjamin turned his head to look out the window, no longer paying attention to me.
Likewise, I did not bother to talk to him again. I closed my eyes and rest, conserving for the important fight later.